Texas remains defiant against the Supreme Court's recent ruling on the southern border, and it looks like they're about to get some help from America's own Freedom Convoy. That's right. We're going to see the latest on the ongoing effort by Texas patriots to secure our southern border and what it means going forward into 2024. Greetings, everyone. It's me, Dr. Steve, your Patriot Professor, here to help you to think better so you can feel better in these crazy and turbulent times. So if you haven't already done so, you know what to do. Make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button. The fallout from the Supreme Court's ridiculous decision, or should I say the defiance in the face of that feckless decision, continues today, as we reported yesterday, in a 5-4 ruling with the usual defections of Roberts and Barrett to the dark side, the lunatic liberal side. The court ruled that the Biden administration did, in fact, have the right to remove razor wire that served as a barrier to the slew of illegal migrants crossing our southern border. It was a rather stunning ruling, precisely because the decision, in effect, is preventing Texas from enforcing the law, all the while enabling the Biden administration to break the law. However, almost immediately after the ruling was handed down, Texas officials basically told the Supreme Court to shove it. Video from Eagle Pass shows the Texas National Guard are indeed defying the Supreme Court's ruling by installing more razor wire and barriers at Shelby Park. And even Fox News is reporting that Texas forces are refusing to comply with the decision. Take a look.
Now, we do want to talk about the Supreme Court decision that came down just a few days ago, giving legal authority to Border Patrol to cut the wire here in Shelby Park. As of right now, no wire has been cut. That's because the Texas National Guard still has control of Shelby Park, and Border Patrol is not allowed into the park to cut that wire. Now, I did talk to officials how the Supreme Court ruling will actually affect how Texas is defending the border. Take a listen.
We still are going to restrict the access here at Shelby Park. We're still going to add additional infrastructure along the river. That's what National Guard is doing right now. Currently, they're adding additional barriers to that concertina wire, making those areas more reinforced so that we can prevent and discourage any illegal border crossings.
And you're looking at the Rio Grande, where the Water Authority is actually raising the level. Controls of the Amistad Dam up the river, releasing more water due to heavy recent rain. Just a reminder for those migrants crossing, they're still making that trek over a dangerous current in that river. The question remains, if Border Patrol needs to come in, cut the wire, will Texas National Guard?
So as you can see, this is the real deal here. Texas officials are not kidding around anymore, and they don't appear to have the time to entertain the silly nonsense coming from our judicial high towers. Texas Governor Greg Abbott is hitting back against the court's ruling, promising that Texas forces will continue in their ongoing efforts to stem the tide of illegal border crossing that the Biden administration refuses to enforce. In fact, Abbott tweeted out that the Texas National Guard was indeed holding the line in Eagles Pass despite the Supreme Court's ruling, and Elon Musk retweeted Abbott's announcement with the simple affirmation, good. Good. And I think Musk speaks for all of us. Most certainly the vast majority of the nation that has had it with the bumbling Biden administration's deliberate abdication of their law enforcement responsibilities at the southern border. And now that support for Texas's law enforcement is about to get a whole lot bigger, a whole lot louder, and a whole lot wider. Wait until you see what's headed for the Texas border. This is going to absolutely make your day. But first, as many of you know, the Grinches at Google have completely demonetized this channel. So make sure to click on that link below and support our awesome sponsor. And that's the amazing Old Country Soap. Made on a farm in South Dakota using traditional techniques, they use only locally sourced special ingredients without the harsh chemicals that can dry out your hair and skin. Every single bar includes pure and unfiltered bentonite clay that works wonders. It helps to soothe and relieve dry and sensitive skin. It's known for its healing properties that help with psoriasis and eczema. It also pulls dirt and oil from pores, helping to clear up acne. I mean, gang, it's amazing stuff. It works great for your hair. You can use it to shave. It's safe for your pets. And, of course, to top it all off, it's made right here in the USA. Use promo code Turley for an exclusive 20% discount off your order, and every order will include an extra gift. Just pay the shipping. It's more than worth it. So go ahead, reward yourself with this amazing Patriot product. You will not be disappointed. Click on that link below right now. A massive truckers' convoy is reportedly headed to the southern border in response to the Texas National Guard's defiance of the Supreme Court's decision. Texas Representative Keith Self has announced that truckers will hold a demonstration along several southern border routes in protest of both the Biden administration's willful law enforcement abdication as well as the Supreme Court's compliance in that abdication. The Take Our Border Back multi-day trucker convoy will take place from January 29th through February 3rd, and the routes for the truckers will include 3 stops, one at Eagle Pass, Texas, one at Yuma, Arizona, and one at San Ysidro in California. Now, obviously, the announcement of the truckers' convoy in light of a recent court decision is drawing comparisons with what happened in Ottawa 2 years ago with the Freedom Convoy. As you may know, a federal judge has just ruled that Trudeau's use of emergency powers to crush the trucker demonstration was indeed unreasonable, unjustified, and ultimately unconstitutional. As you know, the tyrant Trudeau used the emergency powers to crack down on peaceful protesters who shut down Ottawa in a manner comparable to the way BLM protesters had shut down Ottawa just months before. Trudeau praised those BLM protesters, all the while he brutalized the truckers, some of whom, as Tucker Carlson has just revealed, some of whom are still in a Canadian prison. And we're supposed to be the authoritarians? I mean, it's beyond Orwellian. But now the good news in all of this and what's happening in Texas is that it does appear to be a very real awakening, as it were, not just among the people, but among political powers, particularly among Texas officials. We talk often on this channel about the rise of what's called sanctuary states. And no, I'm not talking about the bluest of blue sanctuary cities that are actually welcoming and housing illegal migrants. I'm talking about deep red states that are putting up administrative and legal barriers between their citizens and the dysfunctional lunatics that run Washington, D.C. They appear to have grown out of the rise of Second Amendment sanctuaries, where counties provide safe havens for gun owners, with law enforcement officials promising to protect rather than violate their Second Amendment rights. That sanctuary status is now starting to apply to virtually like everything. The banning of trans athletes in female sports, the banning of CRT in classrooms, the banning of vax mandates and mask mandates, the banning of central bank digital currencies and use in their states. In issue after issue, we're seeing red states rise up and tell the freaks in our federal government, in their best Gandalf fashion, right? You shall not pass. Your absurd policies are not welcome here. And what we're seeing Texas officials doing is applying that red sanctuary state strategy to their own southern border. They're rising up and declaring in no uncertain terms that they will no longer allow the willful incompetence of the Biden administration at the southern border to infringe on their state sovereignty. So let's, in all our different ways, let's all make sure we support Texas holding the line. And let's pray that this trucker convoy rolling on in support of Texas officials is just the beginning. But first, gang, as many of you know, we have unfortunately been completely and totally demonetized, which is putting our daily communication with one another at risk like never before. Now, we are actively working on getting this resolved, but as things stand, this channel has, without any warning, been totally and completely demonetized. And as Elon Musk said so powerfully last week, the whole point of these demonetization efforts is to deliberately try to make us patriots feel like we're all alone. They want to sever our relationship with each other and force on us a kind of digital solitary confinement so as to demoralize us and discourage us like never before. But to their horror, it's not working. Over this past week, you have carried this channel like never before. We've had more people than ever make the courageous decision to bypass big tech and join our Insiders Club. We have direct access to one another that can never be interrupted by big tech overlords. Over the last 7 days, we've seen literally thousands of you come to our rescue. And you've done it in 2 ways. You've signed up for our free newsletter and you've officially joined our Insiders Club. Those 2 acts alone are enough for us to collectively stand together and never, ever have our relationship severed. So I'm inviting the rest of you to do the same today, just by clicking on that link below and signing up for our newsletter and joining our Insiders Club. You are guaranteeing that there is nothing that big tech can do to get between us and make us feel like we're in a digital solitary confinement. It's as simple as clicking on the link below right now and opting into our free email newsletter. And once you do that, you can financially support us by joining our Insiders Club. Gang, from the bottom of my heart, I cannot thank you enough for your support during a time like this. You are my heroes, and it will be my mission to express my appreciation for every single one of you each and every week.